If it doesn't work, go back and do it again. Or do something else. Just, the whole point is that you should be enjoying yourself anyway. There we go. So, very simple, our little exit sign, okay, not a lot's going on here, but we've got quite a bit done. Now, in total, we're at, what, 764 polygons. 420 of them are inside this. Now, we may not need them all. For example, we can reduce a lot of our polygons if I just go into edge mode, double click that, and then do a control backspace. Okay, that got rid of some. Let's have a look at this. It's best to have a look at the angles that it's doing. Control backspace. Because you don't want to make too much of a kink in your model, you see. I think I'll keep that one in. But this little hose here has quite a few polygons in. 392 compared to 184 for this piece. Okay? So it's optional. I mean, if you want, you can put tons of cables in. I don't care. Just whatever works for you. Alright then. So with that done, let's do a quick test first. So I'm going to attach this. Okay, so we have that one. And I'm going to attach our little nubs down here. Nub, 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 and nub. Alright. I can smooth this if I so desire. I may actually, I think, going to smooth my element on this one and this one. I think these could do with a little bit more polygon in them. So let's have a look at what mesh smooth does. That's okay, but what I'll do is I shall take out this one, control backspace. All I'm doing is double clicking on it, and this one, okay? Now if it was higher polygon, obviously I'd be doing things like putting chamfers in at the bottom, and I'd be adding more detail to these bolts, and maybe even just putting some actual physical detail into the model rather than relying on the normal map to do it, but I don't really see the point. Now if you remember, I also put this border in. I don't think I really need it, so I'm just deleting it in the same way that I did that before. Okay, so that brings us down to 736 polygons in total. Now, we may not need these polygons here either, so I can probably delete these. 1, 2, 3. It means that we've got an open polygon, well, an open model, but again, our model's built out of multiple items, so that isn't really an issue. Now, another thing that needs to be paid attention to is our pivot point at the moment is down here. So if I want to drag and drop this onto ceilings, what I have to do is just go to my hierarchy, effect pivot only, and I'm going to move my pivot up here. Now, there's precise ways of moving your pivot to the top of the model, or because 3ds Max basically allows you to zoom in forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, you can just do what I'm doing and just zoom in and then align the point of this arrow to there, and then zoom out again. And as you see, our pivot point is now aligned to there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my XYZ to 0, 0, 0. There we go. Drop back into perspective and zoom. Okay, that looks pretty okay. I'm fairly content with that. Now I want to just do a really fast unwrap. Okay, I'm not going to mess about as such. I just want to quickly unwrap this so that I can test out my model inside of Unreal Engine, just to make sure that it's working okay. Let me see, we've been doing this now for 27 minutes and we have a model that's not unwrapped, but it's okay. So I'm going to go to press U in my plugins, unwrap UVW. Now if you're using external unwrapping tools, this is the point where you'd throw it into whatever you're using, headers or one of those fancy schmancy unwrapping plugins that I never seem to be able to get the hang of. Go figure. Anyway, I'm going to open my UV editor. There it is. And this mass of exciting shapes is my sign. Now, please tell me they haven't updated this thing again. Now I'm going to change this from checker pattern to... well, I don't want any pattern on it really, do I? There we go. So I'll click that. Wow, they have changed this. Look at that. That's amazing. Quite nice, actually. Okay, Control 8. Mapping, flatten, Click OK. There we go. And that's just flattened all our mapping for us, which is kind of helpful. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to close that, and then I'm going to do a Control S, and that will say, oh, I'll just go over here actually. Control S didn't seem to work, but I have got a save thing on. Okay, save as, and first place this goes to is scenes. I don't want scenes. I'm going to go over to, I think it's D, it's my YCB, and I'm going to make a new folder for this. YCB sign, so I know what it is. And first thing I'm going to do is call this sign and save my 3ds Max. Put a 1 on front of it, just in case I do anything else. You know, it's funny, the automatic unwraps on 3ds Max used to be absolutely abysmal, but not so bad now, actually. Anyway, what I want to do now is I want to export this. So, this, and export selected, and if I go here to YCB sign, and I'm going to export this as test sign 01 and FBX. Done. Okay, isn't this exciting? Click OK. Actually, before I did that, I should almost certainly set up my smoothing groups, so I'll do this again. So I'll just collapse it. I've got my unwraps on it anyway. Collapse this, hit F4, and I'm going to set up some smoothing groups, and I'm just going to set them up automatically because there's no reason. This isn't a big item, you don't need to go mad. So smooth, auto smooth, and then set your smoothing to round about, because it's hard surface, say 26.5. No, 28, 29, yeah, 29. There we go. Just want to get that kink off the corner of that, because of course this used to be a box, and it still thinks it's a box. Okay, down here, check those. Don't want any smooth over on the top of those. Yep, that's fine. Convert to vegetable poly. Lovely. Okay, so I'll just export this again. So, let me just... You know, it occurs to me I could actually take out these polygons in the middle here. I'm going to now, but I could. Okay, export. Selected. Test sign 01. Yes, I do want to replace it. Click OK. Okay, so now I need to fire up Unreal Engine. Hello there. Okay, and I just want to bring in the asset just so I can have a look at it down here. So this is just what you'll get when you're doing a first person template. Obviously if you're used to Unreal Engine you'll know this. And I'm just going to go down here to content, and what I want to do is I'm going to make a new folder and call it YCB assets, just so we know what it is. And then in YCB assets I'm going to create a new folder like so, and I'm going to call this sign. Okay, so that's sign 1. Pardon me. It's best to organise things into folders, otherwise you'll start losing stuff. And if I just click import, and then I want to go down here to my folder that I made stuff in, and I want my YCB sign. There we go. Test sign. Click open. It's not skeletal, and I'm going to auto-generate collision. It'll just make a box on it. Just click import. Okay, and Control S just to save. Let's just open it up and have a look. Yeah, that's nice. So as you see, our asset is now inside the scene, complete with the little doodads on the bottom. So the only thing it doesn't have is the textures. Alright, so this is when we kind of branch off. So if you're going to be doing the textures yourself using just Paint, Photoshop, Alembic, GIMP, whatever the hell it is that you fancy using, then, you know, refine your UV map if that's what you want, and then go and do that. If you're using Quixel, which is what I'm going to be using, then we'll go in this direction. So I'm going to go back to, just need to find my 3ds Max, there we go, and I'm going to use the easy peasy way of doing this. So let's set up some materials. So press M, And you may recognise this. If you don't get this one, okay, in modes I'm just in compact. If you want to use slate, you can use slate. But I'm just using compact for the time being because that's what I need. And for materials, let's just start with, I don't know, wires. That's one. Then we're going to have, I don't know, bolts. Then we're going to have sign, which is like the rectangular piece. Then we're going to have, let me see, metal one, because the sign's made of metal. And then we're going to have posts. Okay, so that's all we need to do there. We have 5 materials, and we basically have just 5 elements we're going to apply them to. Now, if you're using Quixel, and if you're not using Quixel, that's fine, but if you're using Quixel, what you can do is you can drag in color IDs, and it'll automatically assign materials to them. Now, being as I'm hopelessly colorblind, I use Quixel a lot, but I can never get the color IDs right, so I always set them myself. It's a lot easier that way. So, diffuse, and I'm going to set my first one to a nice, bright blue. Second one, I'm going to set to a nice, bright green. Third one, I'm going to set to a really nice, bright red. This one, I'm going to set to whatever the hell colour that is, not entirely sure. And then I'm going to set this one to, I don't know, told you I wasn't very good with colours, didn't I? That. I think that's yellow, I think. Anyway, got all these colours here. Now, what we need to do is apply them. Now, this is easy. So, for example, for the top part here, and this part here, okay, I know this is going to be metal 1, so I'll come to metal 1 and apply them. Now the inside part, where the glass is, that's this, is going to be that, which is sign. Okay. Now these posts, that's this. This part here, well, that's wire. And then down here we have the bolts. Now the good thing about this is that it's very, very easy to apply your textures now. Okay, so bolts. And even if you're not using Quixel, this is a handy reference for you if you're going to take it into, for example, Photoshop. Okay, so there we go. Zoom out. Now, I need a render of the color map for this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to, I think it's in rendering, here we are, render to texture. And you have to have this selected. Okay, got to have this selected. Now, this will not render correctly, incidentally, if I do it at the moment. Okay, because this won't be solid color, it'll be shaded. We can't have solid color, shaded color in this. It has to be solid. Now the way to do that is we have to go to our lights, and I want to go to standard, and I want a skylight just there. And now, if you look, solid color. Well, should be. There's a bit of shadow there. Let's turn off any shadows. And I'm just going to hit F9. See, solid color. Ignore the preview. Right, so with this selected, back over here, and remember to put your skylight in. I want to go to my output, and I'm going to use my, let me see, I'm not going to use automatic unwrap, I'm going to use my existing channel. I'm going to add a diffuse, like that. I'm going to set it to 1024, because I don't think we need massively high resolution for this. And I can target a map slot if I want. I don't really want to. And then I'm just going to click render. Now, it'll say I don't have a target map slot. That's because I'm not applying this back into my material. So just continue. And there we go. Lovely, 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 lovely. Okay, so that's our texture basically baked out. Okay, so, well, our colour map baked out, and now I'm going to save it, and I can save it in YCB sign. I'm going to save it as a target, and I'm going to save it as R. Remember, I'm English, so I spell colour differently to how you spell English. This colour map 1. Okay, and click save. Let's check the time. Bits per pixel compressed, pre-multiplied alpha. Turn that off. Okay, so that's done. So we have this all in here now. Alright, close this down, and I'm going to click save, and then I'm going to just have a 1 minute rest. So I'm just going to put the back soon sign up like so. Okay, welcome back. So we're going to move over now to Photoshop and Quixel. If you don't have Quixel, I don't know if they're still doing a free trial of Quixel or not. It might be worth checking it out. Anyway, this is the part obviously where I apply the textures. Now, being colourblind, I find this massively useful because the materials I'm applying say what they are. I can see it in real time, and with my colour map, I know which parts need to be which. So anyway, let's switch across. Pow! Hey there. Okay. Very easy to use if you've never used Quixel before, incidentally. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here and press the DDO button, because that's what I'm using. I use mega scans, but not for this, not at the moment anyway. And I need to just start off with 2 objects in order to get started. So I need the mesh and I need the material ID. With these 2 I can have everything built for me. So mesh, and go down here, and I want my YCB sign. Okay, so that's imported. Now I want my material ID, which is in the same place, colour map 1, and that's it. Now I've got a couple of things that I'll probably need to change in this. I'm just seeing if yes, hello. Actually no, 1024, 1024, it's all set up okay. I've got my export target from Unreal Engine 4, so that's cool. Let's just make art. I love that button, make art. Am I on the right thing? Yes, I am. Good. Make art. Okay, this will take a few moments. I'm using an older version of Photoshop because I'm buggered if I'm paying a monthly subscription price for it. So I don't know if I'm missing any of the features or not. I suspect I'm not. At least I hope I'm not. We'll have to see. Anyway, I'm just going to let it do its thing. It can take a while. If you're on a slower computer, it can take a really long while. So enjoy. Just whistle and look out the window. Right, see this? Document contains unknown data. Keep layer. I don't know what the unknown data is, but I always keep the layer just to be on the safe side. Haven't tried it without keeping the layer yet, so I don't know if it'll crash. Let's hope not, eh? Oh, let's get started, it says. I like its positivity. Okay, so as you can see, we've got all these layers up here now. Yeah, normals and all that kind of funky stuff. I am going to, let me see, I love all this. I am going to just pull up this button here and press 3DO. What's fun about this is that if it all goes horribly wrong, it's going horribly wrong in real time for you to enjoy. See, got your back. We should hopefully see my sign. There we go. Look at that in all its glory. The sign. I love the fact that we can preview it using this. Okay, so the first thing I need to do, rendering mode opaque. Nice. Didn't even know we've got different ones. First thing I need to do is I need to start applying some materials, ignoring the background here. So we can apply some basic materials or we can apply some smart materials. So if I just click add material here, you can see all the different things we've got. Okay, so for example, let me see, metal. Okay, here's all the metal. We've got paint. Okay, all these fun things. We've also got our smart materials, and I love our smart materials. And down here again, we've got paint and all the other good stuff. So let's have a look at painted metal, because I just want to get started straight away. And I don't want gunmetal, but we have got some dirty painted scratched steel that I think could do the trick. Let's see what else we've got. Worn painted cast iron. Well, it isn't cast iron. It's not a wasteland. We don't want too much damage on it. That's the thing. I quite like this thick painted though. That's quite nice compared to that one. Remember, I am doing this in real time. I like that there's less of a sharp highlight on the scratched paint. Let's continue going down. And I do like those blues. Those blues are nice. Look at that abandoned car. Look how dirty and just lovely that is. Now, signs are usually fairly dark until they're turned on. So I'm probably going to go with either a blue or a black. And I think it's probably going to be something like a black. So if you recall, that was the one that had the sharp highlights. Let's go with this one. See how that looks. Good thing is I can just get rid of it if I don't like it. Now what it will do is it will apply it to everything. And you'll be all like, oh no, my entire model is all black and scratched and painty. That's okay, we can fix that. And I do hope that my microphone's picking up my voice, because if it isn't, then this is a massive failure as a broadcast. Right, good start, see? So we've got this kind of scratched box here. Nice, I like that. Okay, good start. Now, what I want to do is I want to just assign this to one area. So I'm going to press here just to go back, and this will take me back to scratched painted steel. Right click, mask layers to IDs. Give it a second. You can often go and get yourself a little cuppa sometimes while you're doing this. Here we go, we've entered Dynamask. Now this is easy enough. I'm just going to be using this bit. See? Here? That one? Yeah. Bam. I can zoom in as well, which is kind of a help. There we go, and now it's just applied to that bit. Okay, now what I want to do next is I want to apply something to the pillars. Now if you can't remember which one's which, that's easy enough. You can go back into 3ds Max and remember your colour if you want, and you could also pull your colour codes off that and feed it straight into here. I am going to apply another smart material, so press my smart material button. And what would I like for my little pillars up there? Well, I think probably not bare metal. I think it's probably going to be something painted again. So let's go down to our painted metals. And we don't want the same material. We could have just applied that to both IDs otherwise. Now let's see if there's something kind of... What colour is this? Light green. I don't really want green. Ah, that is nice. Let's have that. And just wait for it to finish its job. It'll apply it to everything, as you know. I've already said that. It always applies it to everything. Dum, 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 dum. Come on, you can do it. There. Nice. Really, really filthy. Well done. Okay, let's see how that works if I just apply it to this pillory part here. So again, mask layers to IDs. Remember, my computer's probably going to be going a bit slower than yours because I've got broadcast software on, preview software on, capture card running, cameras running, all that stuff. Okay, let's see. What colour is this? Well, I can't remember. Let's have a look at Autodesk, and it looks like it's that one, doesn't it? Which is what? Hang on. Posts. That's yellowy. That must be that one. Okay. So I come back into my thingy. There we go. And I think it's that one. Let's hope, eh? If not, I'll select a different one. Yep, it was that one. Done. Okay, so we've got two materials on this. Okay, now the pipe. I want a kind of rubbery colour, so I'm going to go with my smart materials again. And let me see what we've got. Wood, rubber. Oh, rubber, here we go. Dried rubber. That sounds like the kind of thing. Although it could be plastic, couldn't it? So, would it be ABS? PVC possibly. It'd be black either way. Here we are, grainy PVC. Yeah, we could have grainy PVC, I suppose. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Create. Let's get this fellow up. Okay, now everything is PVC. That's cool. Bring this back. And under grainy PVC, right click, mask layer. Now I know which one this one is, so this one's quite easy. And I can zoom in, which kind of helps. Bam. It's that one. Done. This, I don't know. I don't think that's working, so let's bring that off. So at the moment we have scratched painted steel, dry rusty painted white, bin. Yes, I am. I know it's dreadful, but that isn't working for me, and instead I'm going to add something else. Make sure nothing's selected, otherwise it'll build it inside that layer, which I really don't want either. Okay, metal. Let's see what we've got. Ah, that looks better. I like that. Don't want tank armor, teeny bit too full. Maybe something more shiny, I don't know. Bare metal's going to be a little bit too shiny. Although, this brushed steel is quite nice. I don't know. Let's have some brushed steel. Isn't it nice being indecisive? Although it will make everything shiny steel at first. Let's get used to it. By the way, if there's a sound of someone drinking some sort of Lucozade-like liquid, it's me. Yum, yum, yum. Good old Lucozade. Okay, back. And then right click, mask layer to ID. It'll please you to know we've only got two things left to map after this, really. And then our fun adventure will be coming to a close, which is nice. Hit that one. Finalising. It takes a while because it's right into all of those big layers you can see at the top, by the way, just in case you're wondering. Okay, now down here where these nuts are. God, I'm going to start singing any second, aren't I? Okay, I'm going to add, and for this I think some sort of an exposed kind of thing might be useful. So let's see, metal. What have we got in no, not tempered. Treated? Oh god, no, far too shiny. Pure? No. No, painted I think it's going to be then. And old abandoned car. What's not to like about old abandoned car? Thing is, being colourblind, you see, I've got to be really careful because a lot of what I do will clash really badly. I think I'll have that one. Fortunately, I can add a layout on top of this, which will kind of sort everything out for me, which is a big help. Really fancy some chocolate. Okay, so as you see, everything's been hit now by the Rustatron 3000. That's cool though. I am going to just sign, bring this back, my grainy, that's not, here we are, rusted dual layer painted steel, mask layer to IDs, and I just need to find the right piece, which isn't hard because these have round ends, and I happen to know for a fact that I saw some round ends down here. There it is, which means this was probably the green, wasn't it? And then over the top of this, you see, once I'm done in just a moment, I can apply some weathering, which will be kind of handy. Okay, next. Last bit I need to do then is I'm going to apply something to that kind of glassy thing there. So let's see what we've got for glass, shall we? I'd pronounce it that way, by the way, glass. So I can do a search. Let's see if I find anything. Ah, here we are. Ooh, dirty glass. I like that. I'm having some dirty glass. Create. Oh, very happy. You see, the thing is, every time I update Quixel, which is irregularly, even though it tells me to update, I always find there's new and exciting materials being added to it. It's a bit like opening a new Christmas present, but not realising you have one. Like I did yesterday, when a late Christmas present arrived from my daughter. And it was fantastic. But I'm not going to talk about it, because it's, God, it's lovely. Right click. Mask layer to ID. Nearly there. Just that one. The thing is, like I say, if you got this set up properly, you could also bring these in and it would literally just apply them to whatever it was that, you know, your groups have been set up as. But you can see we have this, and it's looking okay. I should have really placed some bolts on the top there as well, but you know what? Hindsight, beautiful thing. Okay, now what I can do is I can apply one last map if I want to. Just open this up. And there's some nice legacy kind of things I can add down here that will add weathering over the top of my material. So I can have directional heavy dirt, mud, sand, blood, which never seems to work properly, to be fair. So let's have some generalized heavy dirt and click create. And this should hopefully unify all the textures a bit more, which is always a good thing. And we're getting some quite astoundingly complicated textures going on now. And all in the, what, 10 minutes that we've been doing it, if that. God dear. It's marvellous, isn't it? Maybe a little bit too thick, but we can change its, yeah, that's far too thick, man, look at that. Ew, dear me. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's nice, but it seems to turn everything kind of uniform. No, I'm not going with that. Directional heavy dirt, you have to go, or we can make you opaque, I suppose. I think even opaque, that's a bit much. No, I think I'm going to bin directional heavy dirt. Bye bye. Give it a second just to clean itself up again. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, so let's have a look at that. We've got our whites, we've got our things, we've got our wires, we've got stuff. I could even add a particle system with some sparks coming out the side if I so chose. So that is cool. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do then is I'm going to have a last try at putting a bit of dirt on this. You know, I'm nothing if not persistent. Let's have a look. I know the weathering, the legacy weathering is kind of, you know, old, but let's try some general dirt perhaps. Create. If this doesn't work, then you know what? Sod it, we'll just take it in as it is. I'm not really that bothered. As long as the job's done. That looks a bit better. Just general crap accumulated. Yeah, that's better. Look at that. I like that. Oh, look at that surface there. Isn't that beautiful? See? Okay, so that's good. So I'm going to press the exporter button once I go down. Deselect that. So export. And this will allow me to export everything here. I'm going to set my path. And I've got it in YCB sign here. So I'm going to make some new folder and I'm going to call this baked UE4 mats and click OK. Just so I know where it's going. Sign map TGA, export all materials, done. Exporting, 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 exporting. Marvellous. Okay, now, because I'll also want this to kind of work for something else, let's have a look to our maps. I'm just going to close down my 3D view, and this way we can see quite a few things. Now, you see this mask here. This is going to come in useful, I think, for me. Let me have a look. That metalness might work better, actually. We'll see. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to take this, see this red area, and this is one of those things where, will you stop going back over there? I think this is because I've got 3DO open actually. I'm going to have to close DDO and do this bit manually, right? So, turn off DDO. See if it stays on this one, it should do. Okay, I'm going to take my magic wand tool. Now I can't select this because it's not a fill layer, but what I can do is I can save as and make myself a new mask. Okay, so this is albedo and stuff. I'm going to change this to sign 1 emissive. Okay, because I need it. So now I have sign 1 emissive, and I'm going to turn off any layers that I don't need, like so, and I can probably get rid of them as well. Okay, and I am going to fill the background here. Yes, just fill it. Okay, now I'm going to make a new layer and fill that. Actually, hang on, Control Z, there we go. Make the new layer first. There we go, so it's filled, and I'm going to drag that up to there. Okay, now this one here is what I need to make into my sign. Alright, now I know for a fact that this is split in half, so I'm going to do a quick text box, make it white, add the word exit to it, okay, because this is just really a test. And let me see, I need to turn it. So, just 90 degrees. Like so, and I'm going to increase my font. Like that, and change it to a bold. Okay, so we have the word exit there, And again, I'm going to have it on the other side as well. So duplicate. Exit. Like that. Now, these could well be upside down. Okay, this is one of the problems that I may well have here. So I'm going to use this as a test, just to work out whether or not they are. So File, and I'm going to Save As. And we've got our baked UE formats, and these are all targets, unless I'm mistaken. Let's see what they are. In fact, hang on. It should be some star.start. Well, there's nothing in baked UE formats. Brilliant. Oh, I see, because it stuck it all in new folder anyway. Thanks, dude. So I'm going to call this sign emissive test. Okay, and I may be spelling the word emissive wrong, but there's not enough people in the live stream that are going to tell me whether I am or not. So, you know, tough titties. Okay, test sign here, and I'm just going to, did I give it its own, yep, I did. So I'm going to import, and let's see, we've got YCB sign, going to test sign, new folder, don't know why it bothered. Grab all of these, and open. One of them it will import as a normal map, incidentally. Okay, Control S. And we're just going to build a very, very basic material here. So new material sign 1 mat. Okay, because we can make this sign 1 material a lot more complicated later on, don't worry. But for the minute, let's do this. Now we have our albedo and our emissive. So first things first, I'm going to go here, just apply my albedo, and then I'm going to bring my emissive. So this is the one that I need to test to see if it's in the right place or not. I should see, yep, there it is, exit, save,